So just as we've done previously with the standard ROAS versus POAS comparison, we're now going to visualize how POAS after refunds differs, not only from ROAS, but also standard POAS. We're going to see how this differs in a table format by looking at an example with 3 different products. I know this table looks a little bit more complicated than the last. There's no nice product images and these 3 products instead of the 2, but I promise you this is still very simple to understand. First of all, we'll look, as we've done previously, at sale price, ad spend, and ROAS of the products. Product A, product B, product C, they all have a sale price of $100. They all have an ad spend of $20. They all, therefore, have a return on ad spend of 5. Taking into account cost of goods sold and fees, however, products A and product B have cost of goods sold and fees of $40, whereas for product C is $60. Now, based on your previous learnings, you should be aware that this means that the profit on ad spend will differ, as you'll see in the second to last column. For product A and product B, the POAS is 3. For product C, the POAS is only 2. Where this gets interesting, however, is when you look into the fact that B actually resulted in a return. So the $20 of ad spend resulted in a sale initially. The product was then refunded. The revenue from that sale refunded. The profit from that sale, of course, refunded, meaning that the profit on ad spend after returns and refunds for product B is 0. So, of course, not only does that mean it's not as profitable as product A, as that didn't result in a refund and as much profit was generated from that order initially as there was in product B's order. But when it comes to product C, which on paper, because of cost of goods sold, didn't look all too profitable in comparison, product C is actually more profitable than product B in the long run, because we're now taking into account returns and refunds. This is why it's so important to look at returns and refunds. Essentially, the whole reason that we look at POAS at all is because return on ad spend doesn't provide transparency into actual profit. In this case, you can see, particularly in industries of high return rates, that even profit on ad spend, without taking into account returns and refunds, doesn't provide full transparency into profit. As we'll see with product B, it's not generated any profit, and not only that, it's more than likely cost the business money when you take into account costs of receiving and handling the order, as well as maybe the business offers free shipping for returns and additional costs they've incurred in that case. All of this adds up. It costs the business's bottom line. It doesn't generate profit if you're optimizing your ad campaigns for the standard profit event, when in actual fact, all of the products or ads within that campaign resulting in returns and refunds, it essentially doesn't provide you with the transparency that you require or want from a profit tracking software. So hopefully these tables help you visualize things and you're able to see how exactly profit on ad spend after refunds works in terms of its effectiveness and how maybe you would utilize it when it comes to your business or agency in particular. If you do see really high returns and refunds, I would suggest considering optimizing for our profit after refunds event on Google. If maybe you only see 1 or 2 refunds every once in a blue moon, I would suggest you instead report on the metric, keep an eye on it, ensure that your profit on ad spend doesn't see any large fluctuations. By reporting on it, you are also therefore more wary if any changes or trends do happen in this metric, and it's something that you can keep on top of. So whether or not you're optimizing for the metric or just reporting on it, it is definitely something that you should consider, as we've discussed previously, because when it comes to e-commerce, returns and refunds, they're inevitable, whether or not it's the 1 return or the 100, 200 returns. Every single order and every single calculation of your total profit should be taken into account when analysing the effectiveness and profitability of your ad campaigns.